Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderla, hasta pedir créditos con ella. ¿Qué dicen ustedes?
Del, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Wow, what a shocking story. Welcome everyone, it's Talks with Kenny here today, and we're going to be analyzing this preposterous law that only Republicans media outlets on the right are covering. A woman is arrested, a New York homeowner is arrested for trying to remove squatters from her New York home. I'm being arrested from my own home, she says, as cops escort her off her property. Now, you saw the intro. There's illegals, not to mean to assume, but he's not speaking English, so I'm assuming he's an illegal, right? There's only way you can be here, be a grown man and don't have any place to live. You say it's better than living on the street, better than not being a public burden. But instead of being a public burden, you're becoming a public problem. And this is why a lot of people are saying illegal immigration is going to be the number one issue of 2024. Trump got a great chance to win. Because a 47-year-old homeowner, in the middle of her trying to sell her house, a 47-year-old New York woman was recently arrested for unlawful eviction after trying to prevent squatters from re-entering her $1 million home bequeathed to her by her family. So that means she had relatives pass away. She tried to sell the house. That's why it was empty. And apparently, as you saw from the intro, the guy was given the game. Hey, I got my African friends. He was given the game. Hey, this is how you can squat in someone's house legally in New York. Arrested a woman in her own home. In her own home. Because it was vacant. Right? And before I move on, let's look at this clip of the rationale of this guy. Because apparently, based on the law, if it looks abandoned, if it's not maintained, a squatter is allowed to come in there and take ownership of the property, able to pull off credit, allegedly, from the intro. Wow. This is theft, legalized theft.
This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police. If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it. He didn't show me a lease. This is a bill. A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what it was
current
told
and
already.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
All that matters true in New York is the fact that, look, this is a bill to fix up the house. And that's his claim saying, hey, I'm allowed to squat in here. It wasn't maintained. I fixed up the house. I repaired the house. Remember in the intro, they gave you the game. If they repaired it, fixed it, they're allowed to maintain it, take care of it. He was apparently renting it out. Let's get more into the story, right? Because this is insane. So you're telling me if my mom passes away and my mom's house is unoccupied, all the way in South Florida is unoccupied, and I'm here in Central Florida, and I'm trying to sell it from where I'm at in Central Florida, and someone happens to break into my house. First, you break into my house. You bring it to my mom's house that she passed on to me. Then because you lived there for 30 days without consulting me, the homeowner, this violates private property rights. But what do I expect from socialist New York City? Oh, all the properties here belongs to the government, and if it's unoccupied, give it to the next person. What a communist thing to think about. When the person is trying to sell it in the first place, but you allow, like make it make sense. How is this not breaking and entering? How come you're not arresting the squatter for breaking into the house? And then you allow the squatter who doesn't have property ownership of the place to rent it out to other people. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, New York. Baffling. Craziness. How can people feel safe in that city? I don't understand. Sorry, I don't. Andeloro, 47, encounters several squatters at the Queen's property. One man nearly broke down the door as he attempted to get inside, leading to a heated dispute. Andeloro was arrested for changing the locks on her home, a violation of the New York City illegal eviction law. Wow. A New York City woman was arrested following a heated confrontation with a squatter who claimed he had the rights to live in her $1 million family home. Adele inherited the property on a quiet street in Flushing, Queens. She's planned to sell it, but noticed someone had replaced the front door and changed the locks. That's the repairs that the guy did. You got to know the laws. You got to know the laws, man. You got to know the laws. You got to know how to finesse the system. Says the squatter. Says the person who broke and entered into an abandoned home. Bruh, this is despicable, bro. Despicable. No respect for private property. She was surprised to learn that squatters had moved in last month and refused to leave. It's enraging. It really is. I'm mad. I'm mad for her. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, have to be going through this. And who's going to be paying taxes on this property? Like, imagine that. You paying all this. You're not even getting rent from the guy. The guy just say, oh, I saw an opportunistic. That's what socialists are. Socialists are opportunistic. They see an opportunity. They take advantage of it. And now they have control and leverage. They abuse it. This is the laws you create. This is the incentive. No wonder crime is high in New York. In New York State, squatters who occupy a property openly and advertise for 10 uninterrupted years or can make an adverse possession claim provided they have paid property taxes over that decade. See the problem here? But I don't think 30 days is enough to pay property taxes on this property. So why are you respecting his claim and kicking out the homeowner? It should be the other way around. In a respectful, moral society, in a virtuous, righteous society, the squatter would be out of there, not the homeowner, especially when he has no lease. So why are you giving him benefit of the doubt? That's why I don't understand. Why are we giving people who are breaking the law benefit of the doubt? But law-abiding citizens, we have them up here. We look at them with skepticism. When you're supposed to look at the squatter as skepticism. You saw it in the clip. Dude don't have no leasing agreement. He just showed you, oh, I paid the bills. I broke into the door. I damaged the door. I replaced the door with new locks. That's my repair bill. Hey, look, I fixed it up, court. That's going to be his argument. Watch. That's going to be his argument. In New York City, however, squatters are granted rights after just 30 days. Wow. Meaning landlords must start an eviction proceeding as soon as the squatter has been discovered. She didn't know that probably. This is the house. Strangers have changed the locks, replaced the front door. In New York, granted rights, granted just after 30 days of occupation. Craziness. By the time that someone does an investigation, it will be well over 30 days, and that man will have stolen my home, Andularo said. As she and her daughter spoke with reporters outside, a woman passed up by and unlocked the front door. She left upon seeing the cameras, meaning Andularo was free to enter with property deed in hand. This is proving everything I said. This is my furniture. These are my curtains, she said, pointing. As she ventured further inside, she found 2 men, including one sleeping in a bedroom. One of the men claimed to have moved in 2 days earlier. Then they called the police on her. Wow, imagine that. She walked into our house and they called the police. They had the gall to call the police. Craziness. They called the police on me, and I called the locksmith. And DeLauro said, exasperated, we didn't come in illegally. The door was open. Police arrived and began interviewing the man who, when asked to show documentation showing that they had been there for more than 30 days, the man was unable to provide proof. Yet the police officers did not take this man out. This guy. Oh my God. The man who claimed to have moved in 2 days earlier was taken into custody while police escorted the other man as he lounged a suitcase down the street. This is craziness. Before police left, they cautioned her against changing the locks. It is illegal to turn off the utilities, change locks, and remove the belongings of someone who claimed to be a tenant under city law. All he has to do is claim? Oh my God. New York, what you turning into, bruh? Y'all trying to lose credibility out here. It's not possible to share a country with people who regard this as something other than an abomination. An abomination indeed. All right? New York City homeowners arrested for changing locks for her home to kick out squatters who broke in. In New York, people illegally living in your property automatically becomes the legal tenant after 30 days. Wow. The NYPD police arrested Adele for unlawful eviction of a tenant. Even though the tenant couldn't prove that he was a tenant. Even though he had no leasing agreement in his hands. But this is who we're supposed to respect? Wow, New York. Way to completely destroy your credibility. New York is a total dystopian clown show. In New York, you're not considered a criminal if you pay back your loans, defend innocent bystanders on the subway, or dare to be inside your own home.
I have video of you. Who are these people? Figure out the situation.
Yeah, but they're in my house, man.
Relax.
No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele and DeLauro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6 and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found 2 men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks.
Like, imagine that. Imagine the extra stress that you got to go through. Like, imagine this is this is like warfare. And all of it started from the injury. Like, imagine that. Bruh. If the Democrats want to destroy this country, bro, this is one way of doing it. Demoralize a people. This is what's going on. I feel like the Democrats are on this demoralizing crusade against Americans. Your property ain't yours. Your property is there to exist for the use of the government. Isn't this not socialism? This is happening in a Democratic. If you want a reason for why not to vote Democrat, this is it. They support illegal immigrants who are pushing videos, teaching them how to use laws to use it against you Americans, to invade your property, to essentially steal from you. And then when you try to fight back, they put you in cuffs. They put you in handcuffs, not them. What a country. What a state. What a city, New York.
And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed. The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house. No, he did not. Yes, he did. No, he did. And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue.
Crazy, shocking story. I'm done talking. I think I said enough. I give my piece in this whole video, right? Just no respect for property rights. New York City's legal system's corrupt. Like, it's craziness. The laws don't make any sense. Like, who are these laws for? Is it for productive citizens of society? No. It seems to encourage people to be criminals. Encourage people not to be productive, not to contribute. What's the point of earning money to own a house when I can just take a house, steal a house, break in, live in it for 30 days, and now it's mine? This is the incentive structure that I'm talking about, that the New York state government is actually creating. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I would be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.